السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا عزة بكر من الفريق التنفيذي للجالية السودانية الأمريكية بهيوستن. حكون معاكم الليلة في السيشن عن تاريخ السودان مع مستر عمر. مستر عمر عبد الحافظ graduated with a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from George Washington University. Also, he has a master's degree from Texas Tech International MBA. He used to work as a petroleum engineering. Currently, he's an artificial intelligence engineer at Phillips 66. Mr. Umar is a very active and independent researcher in ancient Sudanese history. And 2018, he presented a paper at the Nubian Studies Conference on behalf of Professor Samia. He's really active in
Did you get it?
Mr. Umar is really active in knowledge dissemination about Sudanese cultural heritage in social media. Welcome, Dr. Umar. We're very happy and glad to take us in this exciting and informative journey, hopefully. تفضل يا Mr. Umar.
Thank you so much, تسلمي أستاذ عزة. Thank you so much for the introduction. Today, I'm going to take you into a journey into deep thousands and thousands of years into ancient Sudanese history. I'm going to make it very simple. My intention is not too complicated. We're going to go over the Sudan's history timeline. We're not going to go into details. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. So please pay attention, please close, because we're going to have, at the end of the session, we're going to have a Kahoot. The first or the winner of the first place is going to get a $50 gift card. The second is going to get a $30 gift card and $20 for the third place. So please pay close attention. And I'm going to let you know exactly what questions to focus on. So I'm not going to make it very complicated. So just stay close and pay attention. And hopefully the intention of, thank you so much for the community here in Houston for giving me this opportunity to go over the Sudan history timeline. The intention is to associate our youth, our youngsters, our generation with the motherland Sudan. And that's the intention here. So let's go ahead and start from the very beginning. What is history? How do you define history timeline-wise? So when we talk about history, we have 5 categories. We're talking about the prehistory, ancient history, medieval history, early modern history, and modern history. Those are the 5 categories when we talk about scholars. That's how they studied, that's how they divide it. They divided based on when the writing was invented. So it depends on what the writing was invented, because the writing was invented in Asia, completely different when the writing was invented in Africa. There is still a tug of war between scholars. How do you define those timelines? So let's talk about in the Nile Valley specifically. So when we're talking about when the writing was invented, we're talking about the early hieroglyphics itself. When was it invented? And then we're going to go through the ancient history, which is the early civilization of the world. And that's when they started developing their country-wise and organization of taxation, organization of agriculture, all these stuff. So we're going to go over them, not into details, not going to make it boring, but into just good enough for the youth to know the timeline of Sudan's history. And we're going to go and dive into the medieval history before we go and touch base on the early modern history. And we're going to end up end the session with modern history. So the first thing when we talk about Sudan history, we have to go over Tas City, because Tas City was the first known Sudanese kingdom. Tas City was established in the 3800 to the 3100 BC, and the capital was Qustul. In Arabic, it was Qustul. Madinat Qustul, unfortunately, is right now submerged under the Nuba Lake or Nasser Lake. This has happened during the Rescue of Nuba operation by the UN in the 1960s. So the first known to us Sudanese kingdom is named Tas City. Remember this because it's going to be on your Kahoot. So if somebody asks you what is the ancient name of Sudan, it's going to be Tas City. You can pronounce it Tasiti. Tas City or Tas City means the land of the bow. That's what it means, the land of the bow. It was very flourishing kingdom. They know how to create artifact. They had a kingdom. So basically, they had a king, they had well-organized different departments, agriculture, you name it, basically. Taxation, if you have those established, then it's known as a kingdom. Again, the name Tasseri itself means the land of the bow. And just wink, wink, this is going to be in your Kahoot. When we're done with Tasseri as a first-time land, we're going to go to the Empire of Kush. And this is the rise of the first Empire of Kush. So Tasseri is completely different than the Empire of Kush. It's way prior to the Empire of Kush, but the rise of the Empire of Kush took place in Kerma, 2500 to 1600 before Christ, BC. That was the first Empire of Kush. The second Empire of Kush, it took place in the capital Napata. Napata right now is close to the Jebel Barkal and the city of Karima. That's where Napata is. And that took place from 1800 BC to the 1400 BC. And that's the rise of the second Empire of Kush. And during this Empire of Kush, lots of events took place. A lot of events in the Nile Valley took place. And we're not gonna go into details, but I'm gonna touch base a little bit with some of the name of the kings. So these are by what's called like Egyptologists. It's called the 25th dynasty. The 25th dynasty that ruled Egypt, ancient Egypt. And you go all the way from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Those statues been discovered in Kerma in 2003. If you go from the right to the left, some of them are duplicate statues. But from the right, that's the king Asbelta. The next one is the king Tanut Amani. The third one from the left is Sinkamaniskin. And the tallest statue is for the king, the greatest kings among all, King Taharka. And the one next to him is his grandchild, King Asbelta again, as a duplicate. The one on the left is King Tanutamani, and the one on the left is again Sinkamaniskin. So there's some duplicate statues. I just wanted to show you the statues of the 25th dynasty. The 25th dynasty ruled the entire Nile Valley, all the way to the current city of Jerusalem as of right now. So if we're talking about the ancient Sudanese
He's gonna ask you what you listen to.
That's my baby sister, Shakil. Next slide, we're gonna go over some of the kings. Not all of them. We have plenty of lineage of Sudanese kings. I'm gonna go over some of the famous ones. This is King Shabaka. King Shabaka ruled way prior to the King Taharka, but his name was mentioned in the Old Testament because there's a relationship, a diplomatic relationship with the Assyrians at that time. And King Shabaka
يا
was part
باشمهندس
of
معلش
that.
بس كده ركز لنا الأسماء دي لأنها شوية صعبة.
Yes.
The
Okay,
names,
نرجع
and
تاني
if you don't
one more
mind,
time.
please, yeah, slow down a little bit.
Yeah. So the one from the right-hand side, these statues, there are 7 statues here for 5 kings. They're not 7. There's some of them are duplicates. The tallest one, the third one from the left, the tallest one is King Taharka. King Taharka is well known by many events in history line. His name is mentioned multiple times in the Old Testament, multiple times, like 3 or 4 times. He was one of the people that rescued the people of current city, Jerusalem, from besieged of the Assyrian army. I don't want to go into details, but we could keep that for another session. But as of right now, I'll go over the names one more time. We have a lineage of fatherhood in our ancient Sudanese kings lineage. So they go from, for example, King Taharka, his son, his name is King Atlanersa, and there is a Sinkamaniskin. Sinkamaniskin is the one right on the side of King Taharka, that's his grandchild. And then there is a King Asbelta. King Asbelta is well known for other events as well. Most of these kings, they contributed greatly to the ancient history of Sudan. So I just want you to remember the name King Taharka from this slide. That's going to be in your Kahoot. Don't bother with other names. They're not going to come in your Kahoot. And if we want more details, we can go over it in a different session. But this is King Shabaka. King Shabaka is very important to remember this name because, again, his name was mentioned in the Old Testament. There is King Taharka. King Taharka is well known, as I mentioned, by many events in the Nile Valley. He was a great king. Lots of monuments being built during his era. He spent greater deal of amount of money to build those monuments across the Nile Valley. If we go into Luxor right now, we're gonna find lots of monuments under his name. One of them is in Luxor Temple. We have like 10 pillars right now. There's one pillar left of the 10 from the 10 pillars, and it's a very big and huge pillar right now. I went myself to the Luxor to see it, and I was very impressed by how big it was. that pillar, and very proud of how King Taharqa established his kingdom over the Nile Valley, all the way from the Delta to maybe even to Jebel Moya. Right now, a lot of scholars, when they talk about the borders of ancient Sudan, it's very hard to define the borders like we do it today politically. So it depends on how do you define if there is any kind of burial that simulates the burial in the north part of Sudan, then that's considered part of the border as well. So right now, the ancient civilization of Sudan at that time considered to be beyond Jebel Moya as border south. One of the saying and quote, and I'm taking this quote from King Taharqa's inscription. It's an amazing quote, and I just want to give it to the guys here. And a wink, wink is going to be a good example for the Mother's Day. In the 8th century BC, and that was during the period of the Sudanese rule over ancient Egypt. This Sudanese king, Taharqa, sent to his mother, Abar. His mother's name was Abar, Entaseri, and that's the ancient name of Sudan, to attend his coronation ceremony. So he was supposed to be coronated as a king of the Nile Valley. He asked for his mother to come before that took place. So he exactly and specifically wrote in his inscription, said, "She came sailing north to see me after 18 years. She found me seated on the throne of Horus, crowned with the crown of Phra, wearing the uraei, and all the gods are protecting me. My mother wasn't Tesseri. She's the king's mother. She's the king's sister, and the king's mother. She is the sweet of love. Abar, may she live forever." How sweet is that? The only king that defined or described his mother by the sweet of love was King Taharqa. And wink, wink, remember that's going to be in your Kahoot. طبعا هاي الانسكريبشن دي is very important ان translate للغه العربيه لانها جميله جدا جدا. فعشان كده excuse me, I will say this is in Arabic real quick and then we'll continue in English one more time. الملك تحالفا الفتره دي بعد وفاه الملك شباكه اللي هو كان حاكم وادي النيل من منفس اللي هي منف حاليا، اللي هي موجوده في دلتا مصر حاليا. ارسل لامه، ابار كانت قال انه هي كانت في تاسيتي، فده بياكد لنا ان الاسم القديم للسودان كان تاسيتي. قال رسل لامه انها تحضر التتويج بتاعه، والكلام ده بعد 18 سنه هو ما شافه. هو كان عمره كم في العشرينات لما كان قائد في الجيوش الكوشيه. فقام قال في الانسكريبشن بتاعته، والانسكريبشن موجوده، قال ابحرت شمال لرؤيتي بعد 18 عاما. لقد وجدتني على عرش حورس ومتوجا بتاج رع ومرتديا الكوبرتين. الكوبرتين ده كان الشعار بتاعنا. الشعار المصري كان كوبرا واحده، لكن لما تلبس الكوبرتين ده كان الشعار السوداني. اذا عندنا حاكمين الارضين، ارض الشمال وارض الجنوب، ومرتديا الكوبرتين وكل الالهه في حمايتي. الان امي في تاسيتي، هي اخت الملك. طبعا لما بقول اخت الملك وام الملك ده تعظيم ليها لانه هي جايه من اسره ملكيه. هي اخت الملك وام الملك، حلوه الحب ابار ليتها تعيش في الابد. يعني ده موجود في النقش بنفس اللفظ ده بوريك قيمه المراه السودانيه والام بالنسبه للانسان السوداني من اقدم العصور حتى يومنا هذا. الام عندها مكانه خاصه، عندها مكانه قيمه. فالمكانه دي ده بوريك الاستمراريه الحضاريه الموجوده للسودانيين منذ اقدم العصور حتى يومنا هذا. النقش ده اتكتب في القرن السادس قبل الميلاد، يعني تقريبا قبل 2600 سنه. نمشي للمرحله اللي بعدها. The next king that I would like to talk about is King Atlanersa. King Atlanersa is a direct son of King Taharqa. And this picture here, this bust of his head, it was found in Jebel al-Barkal. And if you notice, he's still wearing the double uraei, it's basically an indication of ruling the two lands, the land of the north and the land of the south. And the land of the north is the ancient Egypt, and the land of the south is ancient Sudan. And that's how he defined it back then. Wearing two cobras, that means all the gods are protecting me in the two lands right now. And this is King Atlanersa's bust. Nothing is going to come in a Kahoot, but I just wanted to mention the name and show you the bust. Let's go next. After there is nothing happening in the collapse between the second kingdom of Kush, Napata, and the third kingdom of Kush in Meroe. There is no collapse happening, but we lost control over Egypt to the Assyrian at this time. When we lost the control over Egypt, the capital moved from Napata to Merowe. Merowe right now is being discovered as the royal city of Merowe next to the current city of Shendi. And to be closer, it's next to the Kaboshia village. So it's next to that area. There's a lot of events took place over the thousands and thousands of years of Sudanese history. But during this specific era, one of the major events that took place is the war with Rome. The war with Rome was a major event at that time. Rome was a mighty, mighty superpower. It's like the US today. Rome invaded Egypt, ancient Egypt. They took control of the entire Egypt. They attempted to invade ancient Sudan. They couldn't. There was like a tug of war between back and forth between the Sudanese army back then, the Kushite warriors, and we lost King Tiritigas in one of those wars. And King Tiritigas was the husband of Kandaka Amanirinas. Amanirinas, and this depiction that you're looking at right now is not an actual picture, but is just an imaginary kind of painting showing the Amanirinas and her prince, her son, Prince Akinidad right now, standing looking at Aswan. Because what happened historically, after the demise of the King Tiritigas, Amanirinas assembled a huge Sudanese army of Kushite warriors known by the strong in archery. They master archery and bows. So what happened is they marched north all the way to Aswan, invaded Aswan, not invaded Aswan, like they recaptured Aswan from the Romans. And at that time, it was the Emperor Augustus. The Emperor Augustus war with the Manirinas at that time was basically the history remembers and echoed years and years that the queen who brought Rome to its knees was the queen, the Kandaka Manirinas. And the term Kandaka here, I want you to remember the term Kandaka means the queen mother. The queen mother is the Kandaka. And yes, the queen mother is the name, the definition of Kandaka.
The queen
So the queen mother Kandaka. And what you it's not gonna be in no, you're not muted. And it's not gonna be in Kahoot, but I just want you to remember this name. This is one of the major events that took place during that era. If you look up Kandaka Marironas, you're gonna find a lot of false information. I don't want you to go to the net and just start looking up stuff that's not reliable sources. When it comes to history, you have to define, you have to make sure that the source that you stem in your information from is a reliable source. Don't just go to any Willy blog and start reading nonsense information. And they're telling you that she lost her eye, they were defeated, they went to this island to treat it. No, and I can prove it from an archaeological point of view. What happened is Kandaka Manirunas, they went to Aswan, they defeated the Romans in Aswan, where her prince Akinidad, and they defaced the statue of Augustus. Augustus has a big, huge bronze statue in Aswan. They defaced it. She took this head, she took the bronze bust, she went back to the royal city in Merowe. She buried that head into one of her steps, one of the steps of her temple. So every time she goes to her temple, she will step over the bust or this head, the bronze head of the emperor, the Roman Emperor Augustus. And to prove it, we found that bust. We found it in the royal city of Merowe. In the 1920s, we found one of the archaeologists, his name is John Gastran. They were doing a lot of excavation in the royal city of Merowe, ancient city of Merowe. They found this bust in the temple of Amanirinas. So she, can you imagine this? She went and defaced this bronze statue, brought this bust, buried under her steps. So every day she go into her temple, she will step over it as a sign of victory. These are your ancestors. That's how they did it. And that's how you one day you will rise again as Sudanese and you will take Sudan to the next level, back again, make Sudan strong like it used to be. And now the bust is being taken from the royal city of Merowe, being taken to the British Museum. So if you ever went to England, and if you went even to London, stop by, take a picture of it. Take a picture of this Roman Emperor Augustus bust that was discovered in the royal city of Merowe. And remember, this is your history. This is your grandmother, Kandaka Manirinas.
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
the
Mr. Umar, let me interrupt you. Do you mean إنه الحضارة بتاعتنا السودانية دي هي سابقة الحضارة المصرية؟
تاسري 3800 BC. Yes, Tassari, that was the first known kingdom in the Nile Valley. Egyptologists right now, like this Egypt المصريين العلماء المصريات, they say no. لكن بعض علماء المصريين they say yes.
That's
عشان في
why I'm
تug of
asking,
war.
because I heard the Egyptians object about this recent study اللي بتقول إنه
Yep.
الحضارة السودانية هي كانت الأسبق.
Yeah, في عالم, I'm still in touch with him. His name is Bruce Williams from the University of Chicago. He's the one who launched, or he presented the paper. We call it the Lost Fur of Nubia. And البيبر دي was presented in 1980. 1900 والوقت ذاك العلماء المصريات قال لي انت الكلام اللي بتقوله ده is nonsense. How is this possible? How there's an ancient civilization predated Egypt, but right now it's still a tug of war between them. لسه ده بيقول لا وده بيقول ايوه وده بيقول لا، لكن احنا بالنسبه لنا عندنا archaeology evidence that بتوضح انه تاسري it was way ancient 300-400 years ancient than the first Egyptian dynasty. يعني عندنا كانت حضاره اقدم، لكن الحضارتين ما كانوا. استاذ عزة انا جالس عاوز اديك نقطه. The two civilizations they weren't apart. They were the same at the beginning. They were like intermingled. They pray for the same gods. They started the same language hieroglyphics from the very beginning, and then they started the separation between them. Egypt was occupied by a lot of invaders for a period of hundreds and centuries, like the Romans, for example. That's what may change. We weren't occupied by Rome. No, Amanirenas defeated us. They stopped that invasion. They just stopped it right there. So there's a lot of unknowns per se, but I just want you to read it from the Sudanese perspective, not the Egyptologist of Egypt. One of the most pyramids in the world right now, they're not in Egypt, they're not in Mexico, they are in Sudan. So wink, wink. This is going to be one of your questions on the Kahoot. The most pyramids in the world are in Sudan. After the collapse of the kingdom of Kush and Meroe, at that time in the 4th AD, the 4th century after AD, there was emerged 3 different Nubian kingdoms. The Nubian kingdoms, the first one on the left-hand side is Nobatia. Nobatia, and its capital was Faras in the north, all the way in North Sudan. And the second Nubian kingdom was Makuria, and the capital was Dungula. We call it Dungula al-Ajuz. And the third kingdom was Alawa. Alawa, and its capital was Soba. So after the collapse of Meroe, 3 different kingdoms emerged: Nobatia, Makuria, and Alawa. And I want you to remember those 3 different names because they are going to be on your Kahoot. Here one more time, it's going to be 3 different kingdoms. It's going to be the kingdom of Nobatia in the north. The capital is Faras. The kingdom of Makuria, the capital is Old Dungula, or Dungula Ajuz. The third one is the kingdom of Alawa, and the capital was Soba. And that's all the way from the 4th AD to the 1500 AD. And then, and just before I go, I forgot to mention that this is the actual flag of the kingdom of Makuria. The kingdom of Makuria was very famous because it has a lot of contribution to Christianity, and there were a lot of, I would say, visitors. They come and visit the kingdom of Makuria, and it has a lot of ties with Europe, especially Spain, for some reason. So this is the actual flag of the kingdom of Makuria. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but after the collapse of the kingdoms, emerged the Fonj Sultanate. The Fonj Sultanate is also known as the Blue Sultanate. So remember this, the Fonj Sultanate is also known by a different name, which is the Blue Sultanate, and it lasted from the 1500 to the 1800. The capital, and that's approximately, and the capital was Sinar at that time. The Sinar's fall was due to the Turkish conquest. The Turkish conquest was on the 1821 to the 1885, and that was the fall of Sinar. After the Turkish conquest, the Mahdi state rise, or had been risen from the 1881 to the 1891, all the way to the Battle of Kerry. From 1881, 1898 to the Battle of Kerry, and the capital they used was Omdurman. After the Mahdi state, it was finally, we call it the British control from the 1898 to 1955, and the capital was Khartoum at that time. The British control from the 1898 to the 1955, and the capital was Khartoum. Then comes in the independence of Sudan. There's two different pieces of information here I would like to stress out. That's this is the old Sudan flag. This is the flag of the independence. The independence was, I'm going to the two different pieces of information here. What I would like to mention, on the 19th of December of 1955, Sudanese parliament declared Sudan's independence at that time. So the actual date of Sudan independence, it was the declaration of that independence from the halls of the parliament on the 19th of December of 1955. However, it's being celebrated on the 1st of January on any 1st of January. So there's two different questions in the Kahoot. I don't want you to make mistakes. I want you to win the $50 prize. So remember those two pieces of information here, that the actual independence was declared on the 19th of December, 1955, but it's always being celebrated on the 1st of January. And our first prime minister was Ismail Azhari. If you take a look at this picture, Ismail Azhari, who's the one who's wearing the white jacket. The flag of Sudan in 1970, President Jafar Nimeri decided to change the flag to our current flag right now. So remember this piece of information as well. It's going to be, the flag has been changed in 1970 by President Jafar Nimeri. And there is history still in the making as of right now. It's a continuation of Sudanese people to rise and to reclaim their ancestors' history and pride. And we want to make Sudan strong again like it used to be. We want to rule as a strong country, prosperous Sudan. And that's when the Sudanese people decided in December 19th of 2018 that enough is enough. It's time to rise as Sudanese people so we can build new Sudan, the Sudan we dream of. And I still believe, even with the military conflict right now, we're still in that kind of phase of history in the making. It's not done. We're still writing this history. And who's writing the history as of right now? Those Sudanese youth, just like you are right now. So thank you so much for paying attention. Greatly appreciate it. It's time for us to go to the Kahoot. So anything you would like to say, Ustaz Azza, before we go to the
Excuse
Kahoot?
me, لو سمحت لي يا Mr. Umar, before we start the quiz, guys, if you have any question, you can simply raise your hand or write your question في chat. Thank you so much يا دكتور. والله we're really proud بالتاريخ حقنا.
I'm very happy, thank you.
we're really proud بالتاريخ حقنا، بتاريخ بلدنا الحبيب السودان. ربنا إن شاء الله يردوا لنا ويردنا له. شباب لو في سؤال you can raise your hand or you can write في الشات.
How old is the country of Sudan?
How old is it? It's country of, as a country of Sudan. We cannot separate the name Sudan from our ancient names. It's a timeline. We always go and integrate into the next level timeline. So we start all the way from 3800 BC, from the kingdom of Tassili until today. There was no disruption in the timeline of history. Sudanese people are, like right now, we are the continuation of ancient Sudanese people. And if you notice, if you take a look at the bust of Taharqa, or the bust of King Shabaka, or the bust of King Atlanersa, you're gonna resemble, they look like our people right now. There is no differences. So there was no disruption right now. If you're talking about Sudan, we are a country that has thousands and thousands of years of history.
شكرا يا عمر.
There is a question في الشات يا عمر بيقول لك who is the king of Shabaka?
Who's the king of Shabaka?
Yeah,
Who's Shabaka?
the king.
Who's the king Shabaka? The king Shabaka, he was like a, if we're talking about the king, the second rise of Kush in Napata, it started by an ancestry name is King Alara. The King Alara, and then comes him King Kashta. King Kashta, during the era of King Kashta, we ruled all the way to South Egypt. We didn't rule North Egypt. We ruled all the way to the south of Egypt. And then after King Kashta comes in King Shabaka, Shiptaka, and then King Bayanki. King Bayanki or Bayanki, then comes in his son, King Taharka. There is a huge, a great lineage of kingship we have right now. We can trace it one by one, all the way to, I'm very amazed by centuries, all the way to centuries of lineage of fatherhood. So there is a King Alara, King Kashta, King Shabaka, King Shiptaka, King Bayanki, King Taharka, King Tanutamani, and then King Atlanursa, and then King Senkamaniskin, and then King Esbelta, and I can stop here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
طيب سؤال تاني من جودان عثمان. What was the second name of the Funj Sultanate?
The Blue Sultanate. The Funj, the Blue Sultanate, السلطنة الزرقاء.
Yes,
The
أسان
Blue
أقول لكم
Sultanate.
بالعربي اسمها السلطنة الزرقاء. هي سلطنة الفونج أو السلطنة الزرقاء.
And remember this because it's going to be on your Kahoot. Good question, or good tricky question.
Earlier when you mentioned the 5 or 7 statues, which one was the tallest?
The tallest was King Taharka, and that was a matter of respect for him because they didn't want to build their statues taller than King Taharka. They would think like it kind of a disrespect to him. So the tallest one was King Taharka. Let me go back again to it one more time. And that was intentionally done. Good question. Why is he the tallest though? Yeah, that's a good question.
How long did King Taharka rule Tasedi?
King Taharka ruled Tasedi, I would say, for about 65 years, nearly 65 years, nearly.
Shukran.
Because King Taharka was a recruit in a Kushite army when he was in the 20s. كان عمره في العشرينات لما دعوه كان قائد في الجيوش الكوشية. When he went all the way to the current city, Jerusalem or Quds, he was in the 20s. He was at very early age as a leader. So when he became king, he became a king at early age. So the tallest one right now is King Taharka, the third one from the left.
Who was the king before King Taharka?
Before King Taharka was Ba'anki. Ba'anki was his father. King Ba'anki or Pi or Pia, sorry. Where's the other picture of sorry, let me get you the other picture, a closer picture of King Taharka. And Shabaka.
Amin بيقول, what did he write about his mother?
What did he say? I'm sorry, so that's a good to know.
What did he, Amin بيسأل عن what قال لك what did he write about his mother?
Oh yeah, here we go. So he said he was asking his mother to come and join him for his coronation ceremony before he became a king. But his mother was in Tasedi. His mother was in ancient Sudan. But he was in Memphis, in north of Egypt, in the delta of Egypt, a current city called Memphis, or Menaf today. It's called Menaf. So he was supposed to be coronated, but he said, I'm not going to get coronated or become a king before my mother comes and attend my coronation. So he sent for his mother. So he basically said, she came sailing north to see me after 18 years. She found me seated on the throne of Horus, crowned with a crown of Ra, wearing the Uri, and all the guys are protecting me. My mother was in Tasedi. She's the king's sister and the king's mother, the sweet of love, Abar. Her name is Abar. May she live forever. So you can use this as a postcard for your Mother Day.
طيب عندنا سؤال برضو بيسأل آمنة إبراهيم بتسأل قالت what did the colors of the original Sudan flag president represent البلو والgreen والyellow, right? If I am not mistaken. And
No,
why
you're not.
was the flag changed in 1970?
If not mistaken, in 1970, there was a, one second, let me go back to the flag. Yeah, it's here, Ismail Azhari. In the 1970s, there was most of the countries, the Arab countries, they changed the flag as a solitary with the war with Palestine and the war against Israel. It's not only Sudan that changed their flag, but the Sudanese, the Jafar Nimeri decided to change the flag at that time. And if you go back again to the Syrian flag, to the Iraqi flag, you're gonna notice there is the colors are close to those colors, because at that time most of those countries they decided to change the colors as a solidarity against what was going on in Palestine, I believe so, or the war with Israel at that time. So it's representation of the Arab unity.
And I guess regarding the colors of the old flag, the blue, I guess it's for the Nile, Nile River, and the yellow for the desert, and the green for because the Sudan had a good coverage of agriculture and savanna that time, and forest. Green to agriculture, yellow to desert, and blue for the river Nile.
Yep, makes sense. Yes.
طيب عندنا سؤال ممكن ناخد ده as last question and we can proceed to the quiz. How did Sudan go from Christian to Muslim?
Well, this is a very normal. The change comes into two different aspects. One of them is either going to be political or it's going to be through the religion. So prior to Christianity, when like during the era of King Taharka, for example, or the Kandaka Amani Renas, the religion at that time, there was worshiping the god Amun, because they believed at that time that Amun, through him, they will reach to the spirituality. So we call it the Ammonite kind of religion. In the early of Christianity itself, when after the collapse of Meroe, in the fourth BC, 4th AD, that's when the emerge of the three different Christian Nubian states or kingdoms, and that's when they started losing slowly the old, not the religion of Amun, also the old language. No more writing in hieroglyphics, no more writing in the Meroitic language. Everything becomes more of the religion side. Is exactly what happened with us Sudanese people when we became Muslim. The first Islamic city was the Foreign Sultanate, and that's when we started officially writing in Arabic and officially adapting Arabic as a language more than any other local languages. So there's two different factors comes to change. Either going to be political factor or it's going to be a religion factor. And those two different factors, when they come in hand, that's when the change takes place. But if you notice, with all these changes right now going from the Amun religion to the Christianity to Islam, there's still deep rooted in us as Sudanese people. There's still tradition that we couldn't lose. One of those traditions, maybe we need another session for those traditions that still exist until nowadays. One of them is the, I would say, something like our tradition dances, like Ragis or Ragaba, like a neck dance. Those neck dances, they are being depicted in war inscriptions from early ages. I'm talking about over 2,000 years. 2,000 years, and we still dance, we still ritually performing those dances in our day-to-day events, whether it's going to be a marriage or it's going to be something else, or engagement, we still do the neck dance, but it's being depicted in a war inscription. So what I'm trying to say is we have a continuation of those traditions regardless of the religion.
جيرتك برضه صح؟
جيرتك طهور. That's what I can remember right now, but more than that.
الأربعين.
زيارة النيل.
البحر.
الأربعين. البحر. في حاجه اسمها العبور برضو اللي هو when you become adult. العبور في حاجات كثيره lots of things محتاجه لها we can go all day for it. عندك حاجه ثانيه استاذ
I
عزة؟
think I think you can go ahead بعد كده يا دكتور يا باشمهندس share us
Okay, so we
الكود
are ready
بتاع
to go through the
كهود.
code.
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay.
please.
Go ahead
Thank
and
you.
post live. You guys ready to get your money? Let's do this. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, still loading. Start here. And get ready to join. Guys, get ready to get your PIN. Okay, here we go. 407-8693.
I wish you guys good
407.
luck.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, guys, please go to kahoot.com. Enter the game
Go
PIN
to
code
Kahoot.it.
4078693.
Yeah. استاذ عايز اخليه يمشي kahoot.it. This one here.
Okay. Kahoot.it.
.it, yeah.
IT 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Keep. Okay.
Okay, that's all we got.
I
أمين قال
person
لكم
is trying
wait
to
يا
join.
شباب. ما حنبدأ يا أمين. Take your time. We're waiting for you guys.
Maria Muhammad is trying to join.
Yeah, we are waiting.
Okay.
Amin is here.
Oh, that's a good crowd.
Do you want to have it or me?
لسه يا شباب. We are only 20 out of 35.
Sudan went from Christian to Muslim because Mansa Musa, right?
From Christian to Muslim because of Prophet Musa, you said?
No, I said Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa Mingali.
It went because of the collapse of the last empire of Kush in Meroe.
Because he traveled
When we
around.
lost, who did?
Mansa Musa.
Prophet Musa was before Prophet Isa, so it's way
No,
before
not Mansa
Christianity.
Musa. Not Prophet
Mansa
Musa.
Musa from
Yeah.
Mansa Musa. Oh, yeah. I got it. Okay. Yeah, Mansa Musa is a very famous character or person coming from Mali, Timbuktu. Basically, he traveled. He was known for being one of the wealthiest men on earth in the history, but has nothing to do with it. No. We got 21. Are we? Everybody's already in.
Ready?
22. Are you seeing anything in the chat, Ustad Azza?
Actually, a total في chat 34. But now in Kahoot, we are only 23.
23.
I'm not
Anybody?
sure.
Should we wait on somebody? If we need to wait on you,
You guys
please
want
just
to join us? Do you want to join, guys?
They may be on their
Nobody
phone.
wants $50 gift?
الناس خاشة بتليفوناتها ما أظن يقدروا يعني ما
Okay,
ما
so we
قادرين.
should start.
اوكي. والله يا اخي افتكر شايفه هسي مناي داخله بيت تلفونه ولا مرقت ولا وين.
Okay, again, the first place is going to get a $50 gift card. Second place is going to get a $30 gift card. And the last place, or the third place, is going to get a $20 gift card.
Yes.
So you guys excited? Get a thumbs
Hamas.
up if you're excited.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm
So we
rooting
should start.
for Kareem Ismail. I know he has a cool avatar.
All right. Oh, there's one more. Nadine just joined. Okay, we have 24 right now.
What about Kyle?
Good enough.
Kyle Omar?
Where is Tali Omar? He's not joined. Oh, here we go.
He joined right now.
Tali. Tali's competing for the $50 gift card.
He's in it to win it.
Okay, Ustaz Azza, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready so we can start.
Okay. I guess we can go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start the Kahoot. So it's going to be the first question is going to pop up in a second. So guys, get ready. It's going to be for one of the 10 questions. What is the ancient name of Sudan? Go ahead and answer. You got 5 more seconds. Let's see who got it or not right now. Oh, we got 21 got it. Okay, perfect. Good. Let's go to the next question. Oh, you're in for Kareem. Kareem's my ass. All right, second question. What is the name of the first capital of the Empire of Kush? The name of the first capital of the Empire of Kush. You got 15 seconds left. If you were paying attention, you should have known this right away. 7 seconds left. You got 23 seconds.
2, 1.
Yes, 7 people got it right. It's Karma. Karma is the first capital of the Empire of Kush. We have 3 different phases of the Empire of Kush. We have the first one in Karma. We have the second phase in Napata. We have the third one in Merowe. So remember, the ancient one, the first one is always going to be Karma. Next question. Sarah. Which king referred to his mother as the sweet of love? Is it King Atlanersa? Was it King Shabaka, King Tanutamani, or King Taharka? You got 8 seconds left. We got 24 answers already. Oh, everybody answered this really quick, huh?
Yeah.
Majority got it right. Perfect.
It's-
So it was King Taharka who referred to his mother as the sweet of love. Sarah is ruling. When did Sudan declare its independence? And I want you to be very careful here. I'm talking about the declaration from the parliament, not the celebrated day. Was it December 1955 or January 1956? When did Sudan declare its independence from the parliament? Oh, great job, everybody. Excellent. It
Yes.
was December 1955 when it was declared Sudan independent from the
I'm
Sudanese
so proud of you
parliament.
guys. المعلومة دي ناس كبار ما بيعرفوها.
Great job.
الناس
Yeah,
كلها
ما شاء الله.
the majority of Sudanese people they thought إنه January 1st 1956.
Yes, yes. It's always been celebrated in January 1st, but it was declared in December
Yeah, the actual
1955.
declaration from the parliament was in
Yep.
December.
Good job, everybody. Good job. Let's see who's going up and down. Amuna is leading now. All right, 5th question. When is Sudan's Independence Day celebrated? I guess it's very obvious now. or when was Sudan's Independence Day celebrated at that time? All right, so I guess we got all the answers, 25 answers. You got 13 got it right. 13, January 1st, 1956. Good job, everybody. And the people that they said January 1st, 1955, from the Sudanese parliament, Sudan's Independence Day was declared from the 19th of December, 1955. It was declared Sudan's independence. However, it's always celebrated in January 1st. So do remember this, please. All right, the next question is going to be question number 6. When was the flag of Sudan changed to the current flag? So on the left-hand side, this is the old flag of Sudan. On the right-hand side, this is our current flag. When was it changed? What year? We know that President Jafar Numeri made that change. Wow, 20 got it right. Impressive. It is 1970. All right, we go to the number 7. Name the 3 Nubian kingdoms. And I mixed them up here right now. So select the correct answer that has the 3 different Nubian kingdoms that emerged after the collapse of Meroe. Was it Tasseri, Kush, Nubia, Kerma, Meroe, Soba, Nobatia, Makoria, Alawa? Kush, Makoria, Alawa. Perfect. Oh my God, 14. Excellent job. It is Nobatia, Makoria, and Alawa. We call Alawa in Arabic. Alawa, Alodia in Greek. That's how it's being pronounced, Alodia. Okay, this is a true and false question. The kingdom of Tasseri was known as the land of the bow. Is it true or false? The kingdom of Tasseri was known as the land of the bow. It's true. The name Tasseri means the land of the bow because they were known for being great and they were mastering archery and bow. All right, let's go to the question number 9. It's a true and false. The Foy Sultanate was also known as the Blue Sultanate. Is it true or false? All right, we got 5 seconds left. It's true. Yes, the Foy Sultanate that emerged after the collapse of the 3
Good job,
Nubian
guys.
kingdoms, was also known as the Blue Sultanate. Excellent job. Last question. Which country has the most pyramids in the world? Is it Egypt? Is it Sudan, Mexico, or Peru? Which country has the most pyramids in the world? I want 100% answer for this one. Please.
Same here.
Peru.
Yes.
Excellent job. Excellent. Okay, so we have, let's see who's the winner. Let's see who's the winner. Muhammad is number 3. Mustafa Al-Haj is number 2. And number 1 is Amuna and Mari.
ألف مبروك أمونة. I'm Mary.
طيب هتتذكر
نمبر 3
الحياة دي؟
محمد منو يا باشمهندس؟
محمد who's
Good game.
Muhammad?
It was fun.
Who's محمد number 3?
Does fourth get anything?
Get a slap in the hand. Who's Muhammad number 3? Can you speak up?
I can take his prize if he doesn't speak up.
I was Mustafa. There was Muhammad.
Because Muhammad,
Do you
let
know
me
them?
check.
I was Mustafa
Say what?
and my brother was Muhammad.
Your brother is Muhammad?
Yes, and I'm Mustafa.
So Muhammad is the third. So Muhammad Al-Haj?
Yes.
عرفتيه أستاذ عزة؟
اوكي. محمد الحاج في المرتبة الثالثة،
محمد.
مصطفى الحاج في المرتبة الثانية، أمونة في المرتبة الأولى.
خلاص كلام جميل.
ألف مبروك
So,
جايز.
Okay, so you know all of them. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is it. I would like to take the chance here right now to thank the Sudanese community
Guys,
here in Houston.
please send us your mom or dad phone number or email address to send you the gift card. Please don't forget to write down your mom or dad number or an email address. The winner,
This is
أمونة
to
أنماري, مصطفى
Amuna.
الحاج ومحمد الحاج.
Sounds good. Okay, I would like to just express my gratitude, thank goes to the Sudanese community in Houston for the opportunity to go over this Sudan's timeline presentation or session. Hopefully, in the near future, we can organize a new one, more into depth, a different category, different audience, whatever it takes. The intention is to spread the word or the knowledge of ancient Sudanese history. I want you to make you proud of your ancestors and your history, which will reflect in your future. Reflect on how we can bring Sudan up again, make Sudan a better country like we used to be. Thank you so much, Ustaz Azza. Thank you so much, Umar, وكل الcommunity في Houston. Give you back the mic before we close the session.
في الحقيقة شكرا لك كثير يا مستر باشمهندس عمر. Let me extend our sincere thanks from the team بتاع الجالية, from the executive, from the president of Houston Sudanese American Committee, دكتور ماجد. هو بس بيعتذر لأنه في الشغل. حقيقة المحاضرة it was really nice, amazing. I was really excited about الحاجة دي, يعني عشان to teach our kids about their country history, يعني our beloved country Sudan. وإحنا حقيقة very proud بتاريخنا, وبنتمنى إنه الإحساس ده إحنا نقدر ننقله لأولادنا. thank you guys so much for joining us. وإن شاء الله لقدام يكون عندنا حاجات in person, لو أستاذ عمر سمح لنا يعني, أو لو وقتك بيسمح يا أستاذ. thank you so much.
Bye bye.